scheduled this visit to the island to look at the damage from Hurricane Maria and the ongoing crisis that is happening in the U.S. territory. The president will take that trip still, I am told by a White House official. That is still on the schedule. He'll presumably return back to Washington before heading out west on Wednesday to meet likely with first responders and others who were involved in the response and perhaps some of the victims of the Vegas shooting. You heard the president speak from the diplomatic room just a little bit ago in what was a very somber speech intended to try to unite the country, try to begin the healing. And I think it was notable for what you heard from the president and for what you didn't hear as well. He made references to scripture. He talked about unity. He talked about trying to find those moments of hope and selflessness in what appears to so many to be this senseless tragedy. But he did not mention, for example, terror or terrorism. He did not mention guns or gun control. And I will tell you that from my vantage point here inside the Beltway, that is where the conversation is headed over on Capitol Hill among lawmakers who are already coming out, as we have seen again and again after incidents similar to this one, although, of course, there hasn't been an incident like this one in the Trump administration to this point. That is where the conversation here in Washington appears to be headed. And as Tom Brokaw talked about earlier, you're seeing sort of the sides of this, the people who feel differently about this topic retreating to their corners. It is an open question of whether the president will address this at all again later today. He is still set to meet with the Prime Minister of Thailand, although we don't expect that the press will get a look at that we'll be able to bring cameras and video cameras in to see that meeting. It looks as though these remarks made from the diplomatic reception room will stand alone from President Trump today here at the White House. Matt, Savannah?
Yeah, Hallie, there's nothing political about a morning like this, and that I believe we also said that the morning after the Newtown school shooting, and it didn't take long before the subject to turn to politics.
You're absolutely right, and that's what we're already seeing here in Washington. You talk about Connecticut, both senators from Connecticut already bringing up gun control, already talking about what Congress might be able to do.
All right, Hallie Jackson for us at the White House this morning, where the president spoke a little bit earlier on, talking about the fact that we're joined in sadness, shock, and grief, and talking about his upcoming trip to Nevada this coming Wednesday.
We're going to have a lot more of our breaking news coverage on a Monday morning, but first, check out these messages.